That's us. We are live. We are
Oh, we
live.
are.
Yes,
I didn't know if
it's
you hit it or not.
I did. I did for 2 seconds. And then I have like a small delay on my end. So it's kind of like whatever. And it's acting funky about our music. So forget it. We don't care. We're still here. Good evening. Good evening. And welcome to Rock True Queens. I am your host,
Welcome,
Selena K.
welcome.
Yeah. Doc Ock is over here in the building as always. And we thank you for joining us as we rock truth at absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, my apologies, even before our very eyes, consistently questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God's original intent for the kingdom and for mankind. We believe that the Bible, our kingdom constitution, is inspired, infallible, inerrant, and the final authority for all. Rock Truth is founded on He who is the original point of reference for all things to come through eternity. Rock True Queens is a cultural response, a cross cultural response to the economic climate and social crises of today. Rock Truth is designed to serve the physical need of fallen man while serving the spiritual need he didn't know he had that impacts, affects, and infects generationally. Rock Truth Radio seeks to inspire, enlighten, and highlight upcoming and established, local and international kings and queens of character while promoting Black consciousness and awareness of who we are and to whom we belong. It is indeed a kingdom renaissance. Doc Ock, how you today, boo? I can hear.
Oh, I'm muted. My bad. I'm sorry. I did mute myself because I didn't know I was shuffling and sharing,
Oh,
and I didn't want you to hear me shuffling and all of that. So yeah,
me too.
but
I'm about to do my shuffle shell too. So
but yeah,
I'm like, come
I'm in the mood with
on.
dinner. It's something quick and it's just leftover. So all it is just the other half of my dinner from last night, and I just popped it back in the
Okay.
microwave. But
What
it's
is it?
delicious.
What are you
It
eating?
was shawarma chicken and quinoa with poblano
Mm-mm,
peppers. It was a
mm-mm,
blue apron recipe. So
mm-mm,
some
mm-mm.
quick. It's a different flavor. It's a lot of spices and stuff, kind of like
Okay.
yeah. So it's good.
I
It's
like
really good.
spices and
I'm
stuff like that.
starting
I
to get
like
more
spicy.
into them. Yeah, I'm starting to get more into them. And then also, if you eat turmeric, I'm not sure how people are pronouncing that these
You know I don't
days.
know. You know I don't know.
Right. But if you eat that, you have to eat it with black pepper because in
Okay.
order for
Okay.
you to absorb the active antioxidant that's in it, which is curcumin, you
Okay.
have to ingest it with piperidine, which is
Girl.
basically black pepper.
Okay. Okay. Cause what is it called? Piperidine? I didn't know that.
Yep, piperidine. Yep.
Piperidine. Okay. So that's really black pepper.
Hmm. Well, no, it's a compound that's in black
Oh.
pepper. So if you eat turmeric, you have to eat it with black pepper to absorb the curcumin that's in the turmeric that that gives it its great what is that, anti-inflammatory properties, and all of that.
Jeez.
It's kind of like ginger. It's in the ginger
Ooh.
benefit situation. Yeah, so but turmeric, it has
Yes.
a slightly different antioxidant which gives it that bright orange tone. But yeah,
Okay,
definitely get you
okay,
some
come on
turmeric.
through then. I
And that's
I
gonna
love
be in
ginger.
the soup Saturday. That's
What
going in
is
the
it?
yeah. Yeah, I
Okay,
believe I did
okay.
put that on there, didn't I?
I'm not sure. I usually go grocery shop. I'm lazy. I go grocery
Yeah.
shopping the day
Yeah, no,
of.
I probably kept that in the pocket for like my
Oh,
garnish. When
okay,
I go to
okay.
garnish my soup, I'll shave some turmeric on top and then,
Oh,
have the black
shut
pepper.
up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, make it pretty. Make it pretty.
No.
Yeah. And as it's
Okay,
orange. It's bright orange. So yeah, adds a
okay,
nice pop
okay.
of color to it with a little finish of some nice antioxidants.
Yes, that sounds good. It sounds
Oh
good and
yeah.
healthy, and like really, like it tastes good too. Like it's not just like a,
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
absolutely.
definitely a cozy food. Like, one of them rainy days, get your soup bowl and your
Yes,
hot tea and oh
yes,
yeah. Yeah.
yes. I'm telling you, that soup, that little bowl thingy look good. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make the bowl thing
The
without the
bread. Oh
bread.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but no, that's just me being extra. I gotta do something extra. So tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow I'll probably go live doing it. I don't know. We'll see how how that works out. Because sometimes stuff just be too chaotic, and I just want to get it done and get it out the way. And
right.
But I'll see if I can go live in the cafe group, making the dough, prepping the dough.
Okay, that sounds cool. I think I'm just gonna probably find like a bread that I can kind of open up and dig out and it works. Okay, you see that it's acting. We're having trouble. View the Twitch. This is, I'll tell you. Okay, some of the girl, strange message just pops up. I don't know. Well, you know what? Before we get our guest in here, I know, right? And Will is probably somewhere behind the scenes doing something. I'm so certain. But before we bring our guest in today, we're going to continue with, our month of discussing different types of domestic violence, different types of abuse. Pretty much domestic abuse really is what it is. And those type of resolutions for them, not just, us having people come on and tell their stories or tell, stories, but resolutions, what are ways in which we can prevent, what are ways in which if you're in it, get out, all of the different type of resolutions that, Doc was talking about yesterday. Like, it's not any issues if you are solution driven and oriented. So there isn't a problem. There's no crisis because it's always opportunity. It's just the way you look at things. But before we get into that, we are actually starting our Rock Truth book club this month. This week, Rock Truth Read will be, I know, right? I had to go get my daughter to get my book. We will be reading Miss Justina's memoir, Not in My Own Strength.
So remember how I was saying it comes really quick? I ordered this Thursday. I ordered this, like, I think we were on the show and I was like, oh dang, that's right, I didn't order my book yet. So it came like Monday or Tuesday. So it was like a 4 or 5 day turnaround. So they are coming pretty quick. So if you don't have your book just yet, that is fine. You can order it and it will come within enough time for you to catch up. Where I think we're doing like 2 chapters a week.
3 chapters,
Three chapters,
because it's like 11 and then 2, but 3 chapters a week for the most part up until the 15th. We'll climax on the 15th of May with our author, and this is an amazing opportunity because, again, if you are a book reader or you deal with literary arts, you desire to speak to your authors because it provides author intent. And this is the same thing that when you're reading the Bible, you get to understand the author's intent because you can misinterpret their hands if you don't know their mind. And so a lot of the time people will say, like, oh, they put this, comma in here, or it was capitalized because of this and that, and it's these deep meanings. And the author is just like, no, it's a typo. So it's like you get the opportunity to kind of like have your author here to, answer the questions that we have as we're reading. So let's get right into it real quick, Doc. I got into the book today, actually, and started reading. I started the intro and stuff probably a few days ago.
Isn't it? And then like even the intro, because I'm just like, I don't, and I've just recently started reading the introductions on books because I mean, usually there's like a lot of good like preliminary stuff that kind of like primes your mind to receive the book and their intentions for the book and things like that. And sometimes even how the whole story came about and all, them making the book. So I've started doing that, and like from intro to, because I think I made it to like the 4th or the 5th chapter. Oh, page turner, baby! I sat there like a good 4 hours straight.
It's a lot going on. Oh my gosh, it's a lot going on, and I don't want to give too much of the book because I want you guys to read it, but it's a lot going on. I actually had to, I love books that challenge me. So I actually had to go and define what a memoir was because, honest to goodness, it was like I knew, but I didn't. And now I fully understand the purpose and premise of it because for me, when I read and I see a lot of eyes, I'm like, okay, I'm about to close this. Or I'm watching something and somebody's just like, I'm serious, Doc. You know how I'm trained. You know I'm trained. Like I see them eyes, I be like, I cannot. And then I'm like, what is this? And I had to go see like,
yeah, it's their life from their perspective. It's not a biography.
No, this is a memoir.
Exactly.
And so yes.
It does.
It makes a difference. Like she's saying, when you background of what you're reading, yeah. So this was good. My favorite chapter of the book was Participant.
Which one was that?
I like Participant. Chapter 2. And the reason I like Participant was because it was a chapter for me that focused on accountability.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, that Yellow Beezy, that's on me, baby. That is my song of accountability. It been that from 2018, I believe. That's on me, baby. Like, it's a lot of things. Girl, I love Yellow Beezy. Girl, he be like, you sleep if you want to, but that's on me, baby. Oh, my gosh, I love Yellow Beezy. But it's the truth. It's the truth. Yeah. If you're not accountable, if you're not holding yourself accountable for things, you know, even things on this caliber where you play a part, you are participating in, you know, you'll go through life blaming everybody, you know, so that makes a difference.
But the person who actually is in control of what's going on, with you,
come on,
is
sis.
you.
It's you.
And then it's you. and it's crazy because it's like even when you come back to the situation and then you try and put yourself in that perspective, you still hold back when it comes to you saying, you know, I am in this situation. When this came up, I did and then you might manipulate and change and, you know, use little nicer words for what you did instead of what you actually did. So, you know, we got to be careful with that. And that's what I really liked about this book, because it wasn't one of those like, oh, I'm a sugarcoat it because I'm talking about me. I'm talking about my experience. And like just that open rawness was like, oh, wow. And then it's like, also when you read it in the eyes, it's like it pulls you into those actions and those feelings and those spaces. And it's like it's a very nice read. I really like it so far. I can't wait to finish it.
It is. And it's worth a read. Again, like you said, it comes fast. It's worth it. You know, expand your minds. The purpose of reading and the purpose of the Rock Truth book club, you know, and the way we spell the word is because we don't add to ourselves. And the whole purpose of reading is to add to you, add pieces of another to yourself. That's what we're here for. We're interdependent beings. We're not independent. I don't care how many songs Beyonce and them sing. You are not independent. You are an interdependent being. We need each other, you know, so it's imperative that, you know, these accounts help us to bring a light and a shine, especially to child abuse, child sexual abuse. And, you know, one thing that she brought up that is just challenging for me right now, I'm taking on the challenge of the way in which we say our introduction to love is tainted. And I fully understand it. I get that from definitely, you know, a human fallen perspective. But then at the same time, the terms doesn't add up to me, because when you're dealing with love, love never hurts. So even if the reintroduction is improper, then that just means that we wasn't being introduced to love
in the first place.
We were being introduced to something else.
Exactly.
And it's starting to make sense.
To make it
just don't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah.
Come on. And we got to use the proper terminology.
That's that cognitive dissonance that occurs too when it's like you're saying you've been reintroduced, or like when you have to realize that these deep passionate feelings that you feel, none of that was ever love, and then you have to come to terms with, I have never been in love. I have never
Come on.
been loved. When you have to really wrap your mind around that, like that's a very foundational
Yes.
shaking
Yes.
realization. And you know, that's
Come
that's
on,
that
sis.
cognitive
Come on.
dissonance is, I'm telling you, it's gonna take
Come
you
on.
through it, and you gotta sit
It
through it. You
is.
just gotta sit through it. You gotta take it.
Come on, sis.
Because
Come
there's
on,
growth
sis.
on the other side of that,
Teach. Come
that
on.
uncomfortable space of
Yes.
transformation. So you know, you gotta go through the struggle. Okay.
You
Sorry.
do. You do. There's no avoiding. There's no avoiding, you know, and you don't want to avoid it. You don't want to avoid it. You want to take it on straight on and kind of like understand things from where they are, from where you are. Because if you don't, you're dealing with it from a unrealistic perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you come to, every conclusion that you come to when you're dealing with things, and the precept of the concept is off, you're gonna come up with the wrong conclusion every time. So it's imperative that when you start from the beginning, it's you're ending. And again, the way God does it, it's all in love, and it's all in correction all the way along the way. And so you understand that, yeah, certain things happen in life. They do. A lot of things happen in life, but there's also areas in which I am a contributing factor. I'm a participant, like she said. And we need to get
Exactly.
back to
And then
owning
when she
our
was getting
stuff.
into the details of how, I was like, oh my God. And I had to really think back, and I thought back to like some of my own stuff. I'm like, this is like, I was like really there with her with a lot of that stuff. I was like, wow, this is crazy.
Ain't it? Ain't it?
Like I
I'm
could
telling
really feel
you.
that mental space. I was like, wow. And like when you really think about
Yes.
it, and even to what you were saying, like that's just putting us in our position to be humble, because that's exactly what Jesus
Yes.
Christ did when he got up on the cross and died. He humbled himself even to death. Like he humbled
Come on,
himself to
sis.
that. He didn't have to do that. He
Come
didn't
on,
have to
sis.
sit up there and
No,
suffer
he
in front
didn't.
of. He didn't have to do any of
No.
that. He like the
No.
power to come on. You didn't think he could get up
No.
off the cross and just go on about his business? No, he
He had
had
all
to
before he
do
went.
it to protect his
Yep.
character and his integrity and
Let's come on,
humble
sis. Come on,
himself
sis.
so that you
Come
can
on,
understand
sis.
what it's like to humble
Come on,
yourself
sis.
to those
Thank
pains.
you.
Because what's on the
Thank
other side,
you.
what did it say? Is an eternal glory that far outweighs
Yes.
them all. Come on now. Come on.
That's it. That's
They got him on the
it.
cross. He got up 3 days later and checked out on him. Like, okay. So
Listen, and checked out and checked back in. Like, I'm checking back in life. Like, get out of here. And all of that to again show you, get out your way. Get out your own way. Get out of the way. It is not about you. Stay focused. About his purpose. Like you said, this is for his namesake. This is for his honor. This is for his glory. This ain't just about us. It got more to it. That's why he placed his word above himself. So you know that's even above you.
Yeah.
So where do you fall on the totem pole? You know what I'm saying? His word is more important than him. Exactly. So understand what's of value to him, you know? So absolutely. Before we bring in our guest, I actually have a clip that Miss Iris sent me that seemed ever so befitting for this a month of discussion. And it's talking about, you know, the different things that we bout within ourselves eternally as we're on the verge of just becoming in life. So let me bring it to the screen. And we'll watch that before we bring in Miss Sierra real quick. All right, guys. Let me go to it. I'm sorry. My computer be like, it just want to show me that it's in control. And that's fine. That's fine. I just, you know, that's fine. I'll submit. There we go. I don't. You know what? You know what? You know what? That's why. Okay. I was wondering if it was just me or it was just
No,
the sound
because
quality.
I was.
I
And see, I was
swear.
definitely thinking the same thing, and then I started saying,
Swear.
I'm mute," and I was like, "Is it supposed to be muted? Is she hearing it, and I'm
No,
just not
crazy.
hearing it?"
No. We got the sound now, y'all. Okay. Because me and Doc Ock just silly. Okay, here we go. This Miss Ira. That's Miss Ira. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna probably just bring it back towards the end of the hour. I really want you guys to see this. This is so good. This is our own Miss Ira Warning from ID Apparel, from the body. Body. I know what it
Bodyguard,
is. You're supposed to be protecting your
bodyguards.
body. What is body? Bodyguards. That's it. Bodyguards book. I'll figure out what's going on with the sound in just a second, but let's go ahead and bring in our guest. Let's bring in our guest. This is Mrs. Sierra, Ms. DaShae Wesson. She's going to come in and discuss a portion of domestic violence with us and her story in reference to it. And, again, offer these different resolutions. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and fix it, Miss Ida. I love Miss Ida as my teacher. It's my teacher in high school. I swear I love English. Thank you so much for your passion. And as you can see, my passion for words and everything is just, amplified off of your passion for English and teaching us. So I thank you, sis, for that, just in case any of your other students didn't say. I thank you. No, just joking. So let's go ahead and bring in her daughter, Miss Sierra.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, boo. How are you?
Hey, I
How
am
you
good.
doing,
How are you,
sis?
I'm good. How are you ladies doing today?
Oh, I was still mute. That's your mom?
Good.
Yeah, that's my mom down there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes, yes. I'm telling you, that's got to be pretty dope to have your mom as a teacher. Like, it
Man,
got to be. It got to be. Well,
it was
everything is
good.
at the test.
It was good until you got in trouble, and then everybody went to go tell.
Right.
That's it. And everybody went to go tell. Oh my goodness, yes. Miss Sierra, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your organization, and tell us about your bout or your encounter with domestic violence.
Okay, so my incident happened, my big incident, I should say, that put me on edge and pushed me over the edge and made me say, I got to do something about domestic violence. September 25th of 2015, I was at home, and my partner at that time, I'll call him my partner, um, we had a conversation that didn't go the way that he wanted it to go. And so he felt like she's not listening to me, she's not doing what I want her to do. So the only way that she's going to listen to me is if I put my hands on her. Which we have been down this road plenty of times before, but that night he literally tried to kill me.
Mm.
We went from talking to fans being thrown at me, from fans being thrown to clothes, shoes being thrown at me. It was the worst thing in the world, and all of this was happening in front of my kids. So I tried my hardest. I'm
Wow.
like,
Wow.
well, let me get up, let me get them together so I can leave, and let's just part ways because you've been drinking. I've had a couple of drinks also. So let's take this time and depart. And when we're both clear and have sober minds, then we can go ahead and we can just come back and we can conversate about what's going on between us and what transpired. Nope, he didn't want to do that. He followed me out the house. He hit me in the back of my head and got on top of me and had me pinned down by my arms and my legs and was repeatedly punching me in my face until I lost consciousness.
Mm.
Like I said, all of this is going on in front of my children.
Right.
At that moment, once it was all over with, the only thing I could think of was, where is my kids? Because I always remember him telling me when we would get into it, if I ever do something to you or if I ever kill you, I'm going to kill these kids and then I'm going to kill myself also. And so that was my only thing. Where are my children? Are my children safe? So the first thing I did once I came to, I went and I ran in my house. Let me go check on my kids. Luckily, my son was there. He's my oldest. He was 4 at the time. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. He was 5 going on 6. And he opened the door, and nobody will ever know the pain of seeing a child that's seeing his mother bleeding from every part of her face that she can possibly be bleeding from. To this day, he still remembers that. He has PTSD from it. He cannot be around me. And if I'm yelling at somebody and that other person is a male, he's going to interject, even at 12 years old. So
Oh, wow.
once I knew that they were okay, it was like, okay, now let's get out of here because I don't know where he went. Is he coming back? We got to go. By the time I got outside to get them in the car, it was police officers outside. It was an ambulance outside. My mother had already been called and she was on her way. And that was my next reason of leaving. Once I was in the ambulance and my mom came in, she stepped on the ambulance and she looked at me and she said, I hope you learned your lesson and I hope you never go back. And sure enough, I never went back. I conversated and I had conversations after that with him because he was the father of my children. But I couldn't go back and be his life partner, his girlfriend, his wife, nothing to that nature. I had to just be his kid's mother, whether he wanted to be there or he didn't want to be there. So to this day, I've had the hardest time trying to not say, I shouldn't say find a spouse, but trying to be in relationships. I don't think I've had a healthy relationship since then.
Come on, sis teacher.
Because my trust issues are gone. If we get into it and it's a minor disagreement, I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting ready to talk to you. I'm going to shut down because I feel like us arguing is a trigger for me and I don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
So I try my hardest to, oh no, I'll just be your friend. We can just be friends and leave it at that. Here it is, 6 years later, and I can finally say that I'm okay. I'm ready to date. I have a spouse that, baby, when I tell you this man is good to me,
Yeah.
that I cannot date. He is good to me. But I have, when we first started dating, I had times I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to do this or not. And I would pull back away from him. But my friends, when I would talk to them, they would always tell me, let that man love you. He's trying to show you
Yeah.
what love
Yeah.
is.
Come on, teach. Come on, teach.
And so I've I've had to lay everything down and say, okay, this is what I went through. And his exact words to me were, I'm not him. So don't think that I am. And I
Mm.
was like, oh, okay, well,
Oh wow.
so
Oh
that's
wow.
that.
All
Um,
right.
Okay.
so
Okay.
from there, I've developed my own organization. As you can see,
Okay.
it's called Love Don't Hurt.
Hold on, I'll bring you
And I
back up.
feel
Keep it up. Keep it up. Let me see.
it's say Love Don't Hurt.
I love it. Yes.
And it's just what it is. Speak up because my testimony will save a life.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And people don't
Absolutely.
understand that. I've had so many times where I'm telling young girls about my story and it's making them open up and tell me what they've been through.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's all we as women need to give us that push and say what went on with us is somebody else that's letting you know I've been through the same thing you've been through.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how you feel. I know what you're going through.
That there's something on the other side. And that's the
Mhm.
thing.
There you
Sometimes
go.
people are so afraid of what's on the other side. They're comfortable
Yeah.
in the pain, in the hurt. They know that
Yes.
this
Exactly.
person is going to hurt them. Like, but what's on the other side of that? Like, will I be
Yes.
alone forever? Will I be like, and that's the unknown area that really stops a lot of people from even getting out of that situation in the first place. It's like, well, what do I do
Yeah.
now?
That was me. That was me. I
Yeah.
had been dealing with the abuse for years, years. And I always kept saying, like, I'ma leave, I'ma leave, I'ma leave. But then I would sit back and think, this man takes care of me. He takes care of me
Come
financially,
on. Come on.
all of this. So
Talk truth.
how am I gonna raise these three children by myself when all I know is the support of him?
Come on, sis.
That last incident, it made me who I am today. It was
Come on, sis.
Mm-mm. I had to finally get up. I went back to school. Once I went back to school, I was like, okay, I got this. I can start my process of leaving him. And I knew it was coming. He knew it was coming at some point too, but he didn't know that when he did that, oh, she really getting ready to
Right.
make her exit then. I was in
Right.
school. I had a good job going for myself and all of that. And from there, I can honestly say, once that incident happened and I finally left it alone, I have done nothing but climb a ladder of success.
Come on, sis.
I have. Starting this organization for me was the best thing that I ever could have did
Come on. Come on. Come on.
because I have my friends have opened up to me. It was stuff that my friends have been telling me that I'm just like, you never told me that you was going through this.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
And one of my best friends, she told me, she was like, I couldn't tell you what I was going through, and you was going through your own mess.
Wow.
And sometimes when two people
Mhm.
are going through a mess together and they open up to each other, you push that
It
other person to
changes.
get away. It changes you.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
does. It
Mhm.
does. It's encouraging you, it like you guys
Exactly.
were talking about. It's imperative that we, kind of lean on each other, talk to each other. Because once you know somebody else going through the same thing that you
Hmm.
going through, then it's like, okay, all right, it's somebody else. And I have a space where I can talk about it and somebody can empathize with me, not
Exactly.
Yeah,
sympathize with me.
don't
That's the
commiserate.
difference.
Sympathize
Yeah.
is commiserate.
Come on,
We
sis, and
don't
teach if you
bring
can.
misery in together, not between us, not nothing. No, the Lord
Come
is
on,
watching
sis.
between you and me when we are
Hello,
apart one from
Exactly.
another.
hello,
Okay? Ain't no room
hello.
for misery in there when the Lord is in there. All right.
Yes,
Exactly.
So we not
yes.
commiserating. All right.
Exactly.
Okay. I love it. Sis said most are ashamed or in denial. Speak
That
about
was
that,
Yeah.
sis.
me.
Speak about being ashamed and
Mm-hmm.
being in denial.
That was me. That was me all day long. And my mama tell you because I was so ashamed to tell her what I was going through because I didn't want her to look at me as if I was a disappointment. Like you my only child and you sitting up here letting this man do this to you. I didn't want to tell nobody. Um being in denial, I was in denial the first time it happened. I was sitting there, I sat there for maybe like 2 hours after he left the house, like, did he just hit me for real? I know, I just
I
know
said, for
he
real?
didn't. Did he
Girl,
hit me?
Like the brain still hadn't caught up to
It didn't.
what happened
I was,
to the body.
I was thinking about Chauvin in the trial. He was looking just like, is this
For real?
really happening? Like for real? Like, nah, fam, that's you. This you right here. You see that?
Exactly.
That's you. Go ahead, sis.
Exactly. I had so many moments where after we would get through fighting and everything, I felt like I was having out of body experiences because I felt like I know I am too smart. I
Come
got
on, sis.
a lot
Come
of
on,
brain,
sis.
and I'm
That
Come
is
putting
on,
so
sis.
myself in this
crazy though.
situation.
Because it's
Why
like
am I
the
here?
shame comes from you knowing that you deserve better, but
Yeah.
you not getting better. You not
Yeah.
giving yourself better. Like it's so weird that like you're in that space, like your physical body is not in line with your mental body,
Come on
and your
now.
emotions are torn all over the
So
place.
you're not
Like
one.
you
You're
love
not
them and you
one.
want to be there and you want to support
Come
them. You feel
on,
like
sis.
leaving would be not doing that. And
Come
so
on,
it
sis.
makes you want to stay and try and work with them. Well, you know, I want to try and I don't want to give up. Like, oh, here we go with
That
that give
was
up.
me.
And I know I
That
was
was
there
me.
too. Like I
Yes.
That
completely
was me.
understand.
I
It's like
did not want to leave. And my main reason why I didn't want to leave is because it was like, I got these kids. And I
Right.
have, don't get me wrong, I have two different baby daddies. And it was like I got this failed relationship with the one, but I want this one to work. I want
Right.
my children to know what a two-parent household is
Yeah.
because that's how I grew up. I grew
Come
up
on,
in a
sis.
two-parent
Come on, sis.
two-parent household. I wanted that for my children, but I had to wake up and open my eyes, and I'm
Come on,
thank the
sis.
Lord that He did it when He opened my eyes and He said, "I know what you want,
Yeah.
but with that man, that's not gonna be it.
Listen, teach.
That's not gonna be it. You gonna sit down and you gonna wait for me to send you who I want
That's
you to
it.
be with."
That's it. It's called order. It's called
And
order. Now,
exactly,
come on, sis. No, you teaching
exactly,
for real. Because
because
one thing that you're saying that we do is that we're saying that we want things for our families, for our children, for ourselves, but our behaviors doesn't add up to that. You know, so we
exactly,
want our families, our
mind
children
not
to see these
line up
certain
with the
things,
body.
these certain qualities, and you know, different cultures that we're bringing into and traditions that we're bringing into family. However, our actions not adding up to what it is that we're asking for. And then we'll do
exactly.
things like, oh, I'm going to stay in this relationship for the children. That's a joke.
And that's what I
That's a
was doing.
And a
joke.
lot of times
That's
that's what's
exactly
more
what I was doing.
damaging for the children.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
I've had to parse that piece of advice out more than once because like
Yes.
a lot of people, you know, like they want a
Yep.
two-parent household for their kids. And
Yeah.
I'm like, you can do the same thing in two separate spaces
Mhm.
because apparently
You
the
should.
shared space is the problem.
Exactly. And it's so funny because now that we've split and we've gone our separate ways, I can't say that our relationship is the best relationship in the world, but we got one of the relationships where it's like, this is what these kids need. This is when they
Teach.
need it. This is how this
Teach.
goes. We don't argue. And when we
Come
do
on,
argue,
sis.
we have our bouts, but me and him, we sit down later on and say, okay, I was wrong in this
Come on.
situation. This is what happened.
Come
So now
on.
I can say, I tell him all the time, we were so much better off just being parents. And that's it.
Come on, sis.
That's it. And
Come
that's what
on, sis.
sometimes we as women, and sometimes it's the men too, we got to realize that what's the point of staying in an unhealthy relationship
Come
for
on.
your children
Come on.
when you can get out of this relationship and probably have a better parentship or co-parent
That's it.
relationship with this person than you do having a relationship.
Right.
Yes.
To show up for your children as parents.
Exactly.
That's what you do for your kids. You show up as parents.
Yes.
Exactly.
Teach, sis.
not
Teach.
being in a
Baby.
relationship. Your
Come on,
relationship
sis.
has nothing to do with your kids. And it
Come
shouldn't have nothing to do
on.
with your kids. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, they're
Come
gonna see that.
on.
Like if y'all are together, they're gonna see how you interact with each other. And if how you interact with each other is a negative interaction, then that's what they're learning about relationship. Romantic
Yes.
relationship. When you
Yes.
have kids with a person, you're gonna end up doing XYZ, da da da. That's and then they're gonna,
Mhm.
oh, I don't want to have kids with nobody because then we're gonna end up
Listen.
doing this. I don't want to see that. I didn't want to do that. And so
Yeah.
now they're and then they end up skipping steps and trying to pull back from things that are absolutely meant for them, that that can help them grow and
Yeah.
into love and life. And now they're avoiding those things because they're afraid of what comes with it, or what they think
Yeah.
comes with it, because that's what
Right.
they witnessed between their parents. And it's like, y'all gotta be mindful of the relationships that you're modeling for your children. And
Teach
if y'all
this.
have to do that separately, then like, okay, yeah, well, okay, I can see that you can be this to your children and still have a healthy, loving relationship with someone else. So now they're not thinking like, oh, well, even if this relationship doesn't work, I'm trapped.
Right.
Now they know, oh no, I just saw my parents do XYZ successfully.
Exactly.
So even if we change and we turn into two different people and we find out this doesn't work and we have to part ways and we have kids together, I know that I can still go on and live a full life and be a proper parent. Like, that's what you have to be able to model. Like, it's not about keeping it together. Like, oh, this is
Come on,
no.
Right.
Once anybody has brought physical harm to either party, if the woman attacks the man, the man, like, you can end it. You can, I don't care if y'all married or what, you can end it. That can absolutely be a deal breaker on all levels and all accounts.
It's the triple A's. It is abuse, it is adultery, and it is abandonment. And so when you have abuse, and that's of any form, they get to talking crazy. That's woman or man. That is not acceptable. You don't tolerate anybody. You don't accept anybody. You correct people where they are. That's love. And anybody in your life ain't correct you, don't love you. They hate you. It ain't just the fist. They hate you. And then like you're saying about our children being witnesses to the things that we're bringing them in, and then they're being infected and affected, scarred,
and they mimic
for life.
Kids are like the masters of imitation, so they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand the why behind anything. They just do it because that's what they've been seeing. And once they do it, then that's when they understand the why. But by then, a lot of times it's too late.
It is.
They don't need to experience to understand the why. Like, you're the one, you're supposed to teach the whys, and then they can understand before they do, so they can make an informed decision to do or not do, as opposed to just mimicking.
Thank you. Hello, whole job as parent. Let's
kids' responsibility.
Hello, listen, we sponsor other, but hello, have the ability to give the return back. Like, for real, who sponsored your children? Give him back what he's asking for, his image again. And that's what we're not doing with our children. We ain't even doing it within the child in us, ourselves. Give back his image, so that we're able to give our children his image, and they're able to affect generations down and to come. And that's change. That's truth and change. Let's read these comments because we got a lot and they're lengthy. So, domestic violence is the devil. Oh, sis, hello. I lost a whole child due to domestic violence. The offender makes domestic violence a silent killer. They have so much control over your mind, and they do.
Let's talk about that right there. That one sentence.
Go ahead.
They do. The control on your mind is the worst thing, because he would do stuff. I wouldn't even do anything to him, but he would do stuff and make me feel like, well, dang. If I hadn't did that, then that wouldn't happen. You can't beat on me and then play victim.
No. Come on, you
can't do that.
Come on,
oh, they did. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can't sit up here and verbally, mentally, physically, financially abuse somebody, and then sit up here and play victim like you. Like, we wouldn't be going through this. None of this would be happening if you didn't do this.
Oh, yeah. And it makes sense. That one thing from way early back when y'all you didn't even know that y'all went together. Like, he just girlfriended you, and like you was living your life, and he like, oh, you didn't know I was your boyfriend? Like, no, I think I just gave you my number yesterday.
I didn't put sugar in the coffee. I didn't put sugar in the coffee. So all of this because I ain't put sugar in the coffee. Like, what is this craziness?
When I tell you it's the control over your mind is so crazy that I was to the point where he had so much control over me and my mind that I couldn't move from
Oh
place to
wow.
place without telling
Wow.
him, okay, I'm leaving the house. I'm getting ready to go here.
Oh.
I'm getting ready to go to my mom's house. Once I get to mom's house, I'm pulling up in mom's driveway. I'm here already. And if we getting ready to go somewhere, I had to call him as I was leaving the house with her. You know how many times I would call him and say, I'm leaving the house with mama. We getting ready to go such and such place. And my mom, I never told my mama, but it's coming out now. All my truth comes out whenever I have any type of speaking event. I
Y'all,
remember
and
one
you to call my
time.
mama. So
Yeah,
when you gonna
listen,
tell me?
listen. She gonna say something when I get to her house in
That's
a little
okay.
bit.
Tell her too. And tell her, sis. And you tell her too. Go ahead.
We were
Rock
sitting
truth.
down, and I was telling him like we getting ready to go eat. Da 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 da. I'll never forget. I looked out the window. My mom was going to the bathroom, and I looked out the window, and guess what? His car was sitting outside.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. He wanted to make
Girl.
sure I was where I said I was going to be.
Girl,
Because
no.
if I didn't, it was a whole thing. And he waited. They don't really too much like to show their true colors when they out in public.
Right,
They
Right.
love
right,
on
right.
you. They make it when we in public.
Okay, this
Baby,
my
you
boo
are the
boo.
pedestal.
Then
That's my
what?
boo. This is my
She my
trophy.
shining light. You are the
Yes.
wind beneath my wings.
Ain't it true? You are the God of life, yeah.
But baby, when you get home, you everything but a child of
Man,
God.
look,
My
all of
Lord,
that.
my Lord.
Everything. And you lied and you said you was gonna be here and you wasn't here and you didn't do this right and you ain't do that right. It's dishes in the sink and you out doing this. It's a fork and a plate in the sink. And I just put it in there.
Girl, that's
And
crazy.
you
That's
mad
crazy.
about that. People don't understand. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy. I think the control is definitely one of the things
It
that's,
is.
major in any relationship. And we do it subtly. People think that control is just to that extreme level. No, it's not. It's you saying anything that kind of sways somebody's decision making other than what they would have normally done. We do manipulative control tactics
Yep.
just with saying things like, "Oh, I'm your mama," or "We supposed to be cousins," or all of that
Right,
manipulation
right.
and
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
That's the test.
You
That's
would.
to trigger
Mhm.
something in you to change the decision you would have normally made on your
Right. If you
own.
only give
And
a whole list of pros,
yeah,
and
yeah,
the list of cons might be shorter, but
yeah,
it's that one con on there
yeah.
that they definitely not gonna go for, and so
Come
you
on,
Exactly.
figure that out. That
yeah.
is
I
manipulation.
swear, I swear. And the people, I promise every day, people trying to control your life and control you. And they come in your life and it's just like, hey, man, they're not here for that. They're here to enhance, edify, build up, back up,
Come
affirm the
on,
things
man.
that you already know. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because we have a lot of people out here that are, they prophets and prophetess and all. They're going to tell you about, no, you're not telling me nothing already written. 1, 2. I just had this conversation with Jesus a second ago anyway. So you're not telling me anything that's new. You're telling me or reaffirming what it is
Right.
that I already know.
Mhm.
So let's go to Miss Sheena. Miss Sheena, absolutely. I had that shame moment, not my parents to know, especially being the only child, and it was judgment. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let's see. Ooh, I see something with a punching bag. Let's see. This is Miss
Yeah.
Ira. Hey, Miss Ira. I'm gonna try to play your clip again in just a second. But she says God created you to be loved. Right. And that was another thing we were talking about, like that introduction to our children to love. And they're looking like this relationship. But then no, that's not love or relationship.
It's
What
not.
is this? But it ain't that. God created you to be loved, not to be a punching bag. God knew I
Mhm.
was going to leave. So I had to learn through experience and not instruction from God. So I went through being stabbed several times while
Yeah.
duct taped to a chair, and it was a lot on my unborn child. Wow,
No,
wow.
she lost her unborn
Oh, and
child.
okay, okay,
Oh.
and she lost her. Oh, because she said that earlier in the comments. My Lord,
Yeah, yeah.
my
Mm-mm.
Lord, my Lord. Let's
And
see. Your mom. Go ahead, sis. Go. Go
that
ahead.
right there is something. People don't understand that
Go ahead.
God takes you through stuff. He
Come
takes you
on.
through it. So
the
you're
front.
able to sit up there and say, okay, I went through this. And now
Mhm.
that I've been through it, I know what to look for or what warning signs to look for if I know that it's
Come on, sis,
before it go
teach.
again.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then you go through that
Yep.
stuff also as a learning experience. Okay, I know
Yes.
this, but I know the signs, I know the warnings, I know the sayings, I know all of this. So if I see somebody else going through it, then I can possibly help that person too before it gets deeper than what it
Come
already
on,
is.
sis. Come on, sis.
Mm-hmm. And it
Teach.
teaches
Yep.
you to put up real healthy boundaries. Like a lot of
Yes.
times we
Exactly.
get in those situations and spaces from not having strong boundaries because they don't usually just go from zero to beating you upside your head. Like,
Come
no, it
on.
Nope.
starts with little digs. And it's not even like
Uh-huh.
they're upset at you. It'd be like a little underhanded joke.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
and you laugh, but low key you feel like they just trying to shade me, like hold on, like
What's that?
wait a
That's
minute.
that secret jealousy. That's all that
Exactly.
is.
And then
That's
you
exactly
know
what it
what?
is.
But because
Yep.
it's so subtle,
Yep.
it sneaks in there. And then guess
Yeah.
what?
Mm-hmm.
If you mess around and have something that matches it in your subconscious that you're telling yourself
Teach,
anyway in the
sis.
back of your mind that you
Teach.
Yep.
didn't and you ain't know was sitting
Yep.
back there chilling, and then here come the little whisper from outside. They
Yep.
throw that shade and wake up like, yeah, remember you used to say that about yourself all the time? I'm
Yes.
Exactly.
back.
Yep.
And then now it's got a foothold, and then they do it more and more. And then when they
Come
start
on,
finding
sis.
your triggers and your points and stuff, they're like, oh, I know exactly how to get her now. All I gotta do is
Come
just
on.
say this on the end of it, and then she gonna be stuck like this the whole day.
Exactly.
Come on, sis.
Now they know how to
And
Exactly.
control you.
listen.
And
And
then
I
they get
love.
comfortable
Go ahead.
with
Go ahead.
dumping their negativity on you. And then
Yeah.
that's why it
No.
Mm-hmm.
escalates into the
Because
physical. Because
you
now
have
they're
made
trying to dump
yourself
all
that.
of that stuff.
Yep.
Now they trust me, they're walking away feeling groovy.
Sis.
They done dumped all
Exactly.
they mess on you.
Sleeping at night.
Baby,
You carrying
Sleeping
that
at
baggage
night.
too now.
Right. I'm
sleeping like a
telling
baby.
you. Because you
Like,
have made
Everything,
yourself
and
that.
you
You have
sitting there
made
stuck the
yourself
whole
that.
time.
I only get one check
Come
bag,
on.
sir. Sorry, ain't this yours?
Excuse
This
me.
yours.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Girl, I take
No, my
out
purse is
laundry.
already under the
I
seat. No,
take
sorry,
out
sorry.
laundry. You will not. This is a no dumping zone. You don't dump garbage this way. I make sure if I'm compartmentalizing, even my own garbage can't stay here.
Okay.
So yours
Okay.
can't even dwell. No, I don't do that.
I
I'm
know
not
that's right.
harboring that. Like, but one thing that I love that you brought up was that God takes you through things, and that's one thing that with people like to judge your movements. People like to judge where you are, where you're going, what you've been through, this and that. But you don't understand that God takes you through things, like you said, one for educational purposes. There are things that you need to not know, but you need to know for yourself for application and agreement. Okay? Because you ain't gonna know no other way. There are things you got to go through in order to be a spoon for somebody else, so they don't go through it. You're going to go through a walk. So it's also giving you the empathy. It's giving you compassion. It's helping you understand not only yourself but human plight as a whole. So when you see your brother or your sister, now you're not judging them. Now you can understand where they come. Now you can understand simple depraved nature. Now you can understand fallen behavior. You can understand and have compassion and extend that compassion to your brother and sister and not judge them. So it's things that God got you going through. He has a whole mission, a plan, and a purpose. And you may have to go down these roads. But as people who are on looking and who see your situation from afar off, they don't know you, they don't know it, they think they know, but they have no clue. They judge. And it's like you don't understand God's hand because you don't know his heart. You don't know his mind. You don't know how he take people through things. Because I had to get to you and you had to get to me. And the only way we were going to get through each other was through our fallen behavior. God uses us.
They loved it. It couldn't have been me. They love it. It couldn't have been me. It was supposed to me.
Yes.
But you know what? I used to be the it couldn't have been me. And then I went through the it couldn't have been me. And it was me.
And it was me. I was like,
and it was me again and again and then something else that it couldn't have been. And I couldn't have been that. Oh, but I was that. And I was that. And so and you're gonna keep getting these humbling experiences until you actually get humbled. Until you finally realize what it's like to not judge someone, to look at them and be like, that absolutely could be me.
Hello?
Like that's what not judging means. When you look at someone, you say, "Oh, that could be me."
Come on, Queen. Teach. Absolutely.
People don't,
and that's the way he looks at us. Come on.
Exactly. People don't, they always hit you with that. It couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me.
Come on.
Okay. But my thing is a lot of women and a lot of men sit up there and they'll say it couldn't have been me, but they don't know that they going through their own bout of domestic violence on their own.
Yeah. They right in the middle of it. Could have been you, and it absolutely is you, and you don't even know it.
Come on.
Exactly. I've watched my friends tell me, oh, it couldn't have been me. It couldn't have been me. Oh, but you don't know, sis, that you're going through it right now, because that man that you're dealing with, he don't come home at night, right? And when he not coming home at night, he over there with little Susie right there.
I'm just saying.
It couldn't have been you, but it is you.
It is you.
Or maybe you too blind to see that it's you.
Are we in the same room? Are we on the same
room? And you know, hey, ignorance of it does not excuse you from it.
Doesn't excuse sis.
Because it's willful ignorance. Because trust and believe. If he lays his head in the same bed as you and you go to sleep and he ain't there, trust me, you already know something up.
Come on, sis. Ain't nobody got to tell you either. Nobody has to tell you either. So spare me.
Exactly.
Pity party. Nobody got to tell you what's going on and the stuff that you already know. Okay. So I'm with you, sis. You think that domestic violence looks one way. And it doesn't. Abuse is abuse is abuse. There are multiple forms.
And that's the thing. When you say domestic violence, everybody automatically goes right into the physical portion.
That's not just it. Like every time y'all go out, like at first he would take you on the dates and he paying for the stuff, but now every time y'all go out, he ain't got no. But he can turn around later on that night and go out with his friends.
Right. And got all the money in the world.
Drinks? Oh no, I paid for my own drinks. We was doing this and that. But you had to ask. That is financial abuse. And he has his own money to go out and party by himself without you, but then makes you pay for everything that you
exactly.
He plans it or she plans it because like a lot of times that's a lot more women that's definitely doing that than the men. But come on now. If then they pop up and they only got their own for what they doing or whatever, that's financial abuse.
Yes,
it's okay. It's okay.
That and then a lot of times like I said, they go to the physical, but they don't think like if this man not coming home at night or when he do come home, it's 3-4 in the morning. That's messing with you mentally. So that's that mental abuse, and that's where that right there is the silent killer.
Thank you.
Because mental abuse will mess you up. It will just sit there and it's gonna gnaw at you and it's gonna keep pecking at you until it's like, oh my, and that was me. That's when I knew I was being abused. I didn't care about the physical because I can hide these bruises. I can hide this with clothes, with a little bit of makeup, a little bit of lipstick, a little bit of eyeshadow. I can hide all of that. But when you got me sitting at home and I'm sitting here, should I drive past this place? Or should I drive past that place? Or should I go over there? Let me call his mama. Or let me call such and such. Because he said he was going over so-and-so house when he got off work. So let me call that person. If I got to sit there and do that, you have mentally abused me. And that's your silent killer. I knew when I was sitting there and I was doing all of that, I could feel my blood pressure rising up.
Again, because we think it's just outside things that cause us harm, and it's on the inside. It's the inside that is messing you up. So even if you like have an illness, your thinking regarding that illness makes you more sick or not sick based on what it is that you have. And so exactly what you're saying, like you are spot on. Dead on. It is that inner me that is killing you over and over again from seeds that you allowed to come in that have been planted. And that's the one thing that God protects us from. This is why he's telling us, don't fornicate with people. Don't get in these relationships and you're not healthy enough to handle them, because what he's trying to protect you from is your memories. You are wasting time from your purpose because you can't think about nothing but this stuff. And all of this stuff clouds up your judgment from what you should be thinking about. What's my next thing to do? What else I need to do for God? What else I need to do? Who else I need to help? Who else? You can't think about that because, like she said, you're thinking about, should I go over here? Should I go over there? Should I go? Where's my man? Where's that is psychotically crazy.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's crazy because people don't understand when you're in a domestic relationship and you got to do all of that, you will make yourself sick.
Yep.
Yep.
You
Yep.
will make yourself
Yep.
sick.
Mhm.
You know
You
how
don't have
many
no
times?
peace.
None at
Yep.
all.
I can
None at
guarantee
all.
you're not sleeping well. So
Exactly. Not sleeping
that's gonna
well.
physically drain you because you're not
Exactly.
sleeping good. So
You know how many times I drove myself to the hospital and I'm like, I got this migraine out of this world. I can't figure out where it's coming from. I've had it 2-3 days. You know where you got it from.
Come on, teach
I've
us.
been
Come
sitting
on.
up worried about him and what he doing and who he doing it
Teach.
with and where he been and everything
Teach.
and where's the money going and where is this
mhm.
going. Yeah, I done made myself sick at this
Yep.
point.
Yep. Yep. Teach this.
But they
Teach.
don't. But people don't look at it like that. Oh,
No.
domestic violence is just physical. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's
No,
not.
it's not.
And then people. I hate for people to say, "Oh, it only happens to women." No, it don't.
No,
No,
it
No, it
don't.
don't.
Thank you,
no.
sis.
No, it don't.
Thank you,
It's
It
sis.
happens
definitely
to
it's
Thank you,
definitely
anybody.
sis.
some big burly men. Like he's probably
Exactly.
Early
physically
ones.
abused, but I guarantee you there's emotional abuse,
Exactly.
Listen.
financial
Sexually
abuse,
abused. Yeah, they're
like all
sexually
of that,
Exactly.
abused.
mental abuse.
All of it, all of it. And if it's that
Mm-hmm.
was the one thing with the Me Too movement. And I'm just like, if it's Me Too, then it's men too. Nobody
Mhm.
is immune to the trials and tribulations of life. Nobody.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So everybody's gonna go through human plight. It may not look like that, but it's the same exact thing.
It
And so
is.
mine don't look like yours, but it's the same. So this is the reason why everybody should be understanding of everything. That
Right.
person who abused us, they got that from being abused themselves. It's a trickling down effect. This
Exactly.
is all part of the
Mm-hmm.
fall. So you
That
can't even
right
go back
there.
and blame nobody. You can't even say like, "Oh, I'm mad at you." How can you be mad at a person that it was done to them? It's just what they
Exactly.
thought was a norm. It was become a new norm to them, and society is making this
Mm-hmm.
more normal and more
Yeah.
normal. So it's like
Mhm.
we got to go back all the way from the beginning. And this is the reason why God just say, "Forgive and restore." Forgive
Exactly.
and restore
Mhm.
because they
When you
got
sit in
there
that
off
love,
somebody else. Yeah.
Yep.
when you sit in love, there's nothing but healing to come from it. So
Yes,
you
sis.
know,
Exactly.
Yes, sis.
then you'll ask those questions like, well, why? Because that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't face, the people who abuse them and say, well, why did you do that to me? And then like, and even if you got an
Come on.
answer, like, what would the answer do for you?
Right.
Nothing.
What would
Because
that answer do?
they can't heal you.
You know how many times
They
you
can't
know how
heal you.
many times we've tried to have that conversation.
Come on, sis.
We have tried. I've tried my hardest to have that conversation and ask him like, what did I do to you that night to make you do me the way you did?
Mm-hmm.
What did I do?
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to talk about it. And that's my thing. A lot of times when you're in these
Because it wasn't
relationships
you.
and you getting it exactly.
It
And then
wasn't you at
when
all.
when you coming out of them and you do try to get to that point where you're like, okay, well, maybe if I just get a clear answer on why this night happened or why this happened or why everything went left, maybe if I get a clear answer, I can move on. The one thing that I can say, nobody wants when you're the predator, they don't never do they take
Mm-hmm.
accountability
Come
for
on,
their
sis.
actions.
Come
They
on.
don't.
Come on. Come
When
on.
we had that conversation, he'll tell me all the time, it was because you did this and you did that so it was all
But
me. You didn't do
but
nothing.
that
I hit
that's
myself.
his healing he leaving on the table because
That's it.
obviously there's something there that
That's
he
it.
doesn't want to take responsibility for, and it's not
That's
just the abuse on you. He has to take responsibility for the abuse on himself.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And that's
Because like
where
a lot of times like I don't think that men who do that are bad people. So obviously when they're in their right mind, they're feeling bad about that situation.
Yeah, they
they
do.
don't recognize themselves as being a person that did that to
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
And especially like they care, otherwise they wouldn't have been there in the first place. So they care
Exactly.
about you and they're like, I'm doing this to someone that I care about. And then it becomes like this pull between like, but I can't stop, but I need to stop. And then it's like, so like that's that cognitive dissonance in action. So now they have to uproot these old things and they're really trying to, but they can't. And so now not only do they have these old things to uproot that even put them in a position to hurt you in the first place.
Come
but
on,
now they
sis.
have these new things that are in conflict with who they're trying to be. They're trying to be a good
Come
person.
on,
Good
sis.
people don't beat on people that
Exactly.
they care about.
Come on.
So it's like they
Your
now
constant
they
battle.
trap themselves. Exactly. So that's the compassion that I've had to learn to have from my situation like that.
Yes.
Because I could see it. I could see it in his
Yeah.
eyes that he didn't
Mhm.
like any of
Yeah.
those interactions. And
Nope.
we
Right.
never talked about it. But then it was like when he popped back up, like nothing ever happened, like nothing, like literally nothing. Like he couldn't figure out why I moved and all. Like I was just like, what? Like for real?
You can figure that out, huh?
Like, oh, I
Couldn't
live
figure
in
that out?
reality. Like, no worries. Like, I have no hard feelings or none of that.
Yes,
But
yes.
what we not gonna do is
Come on, sis. Come on,
Right.
sis. And that's the one thing I
We're not
love,
gonna act.
sis, about the relationship you said you have now with your child's father. Again, both two still fallen people. We still mistake prone. We still gonna probably get out our bodies once, because again,
Exactly.
our new passion is the children. And so
Exactly.
now that's a different bout. Like I don't know, I battled that with my stepmama. That me and her, I call her my baby daddy. Like we go back because our passion is my son, and we're gonna fight it out about him. But it's about him. And so when we get back, I be telling other people, like, stay out of our business, because when me and her into it, it's us, and we're gonna be friends tomorrow. She don't have a choice but to be my friend.
Right
She don't
there.
have a choice.
Yep.
She's gonna be my friend
That right
tomorrow.
there.
So
Right.
and I love what it is that you guys are doing. You are co-parenting, you are friends. We are now refocused. It is about the children, it is not about us. And even when we get out of our elements, we can govern ourselves accordingly, going back to again that
Yep.
original like mind, the children.
Yeah.
I
And that
love
was
it.
another thing. When exactly we're gonna go back to what you said.
Go ahead, sis.
The one thing where I didn't want nobody to know what I was going through was because if I told somebody else what I was going through, then that makes that person mad at him.
Come
And
on,
it's like,
sis.
okay,
Teach.
when I'm fine and I'm good and I'm ready to love on him again and
Yeah.
we back to where we are, that person's still mad.
Come on,
Mhm.
sis.
I shouldn't have told you in the first
Yeah.
place. Because
Yeah.
in
Come
reality,
on.
That too.
it wasn't
Now
your
you
business.
teaching.
Right.
It wasn't your business. I should have just left what I was going through in between my house right then so I
Yep.
can fix it. Because everybody not gonna understand when you done being mad and when all of the
Yep.
bruises
Yep.
have healed up and your tears have dried up. Okay, I'm ready to love you again. Everybody don't understand
Come
that.
on.
That's when that
Come on,
comes
sis.
in with the it couldn't have been me.
Uh-huh.
Come on, sis. It couldn't have been me. Right.
The neck.
Okay.
It couldn't have been me.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to thank you so much, sis, for doing this. Seriously, like for real, queen. Like, thank you for coming on, sharing your story, sharing everything with us. We have a moment on the show where we talk about how God has adjusted our crowns for the week, and that's pretty much what conversation or what thing that you have going on in life that for the most part it's about our disobedience. It's really our disobedience. He done told you to do something, or you ain't did it, or any and all of the above. But how has he adjusted your crown this week?
This week has been a trying week. I'm getting back to work now after coming back from a car accident and being on leave from work. And he really and truly, he told me to sit down again and stop trying to go to work and being disobedient.
Who need that word?
Yeah.
Who need that word? Okay.
Baby. And I'm just like, I gotta go to work because I got these bills that need to be paid and I gotta do this and I gotta do that. So yeah, I'm gonna probably be going to go sit back down after I had this procedure because I come home every night and I'm like, oh, my back hurt. Oh, my legs hurt. It hurt. It's tingling. This is numb. That's numb. Yeah. I might need to go sit back down and sit back at home. Because if I don't, I'm going to mess myself up more than what I already am. I got to stop being disobedient and hard-headed and listening to God. When he says move, then I move.
Come on, sis.
My thing. I'm hard-headed. And I don't listen because it's been plenty of times where even within my organization where I haven't did an event in in 2 years, 3 years, since 2018. And at this point where I'm at right now, the event that's getting ready to take place next Friday, he said, okay, you're coming out of this pandemic. It's time for you to move now. And all I want you to focus on is this organization, because you have to empower somebody else
Come on,
that's
sis.
been through something that you've been through, or that's going through something that you've been through. So it's the event that is called Empowerment and Dinner.
Okay.
And it's next Friday, April the 30th at 6 p.m. And this, everybody asked me when I told them what I'll do, why do you want to do it? Because we as women need one day where we can take off our mom hat, the wife hat, the employee hat, and every other hat that we wear, and set it to the side, put our crowns on, and celebrate us as women. We do a lot, and people don't understand that. Oh, you ain't doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm taking care of 3 kids. I work full time. I go to school full time. I run an organization by myself. I'm doing this business. I'm doing that. I'm still trying to help somebody else out. I'm doing a lot. At what point do I take care of myself? Because if I don't take care of myself, I'm nothing to no one else.
Come on, sis, teach.
And that's what this event next week is all about. I gotta build myself back up.
Yes.
From my toes all the way, from the soles of my feet all the way to the crown of my head. So I can just be the mother that my children need me to be. The woman that this man wants me to be. The daughter that I need to be to my mother. And what people don't understand that. You got to build yourself back up.
Absolutely.
Because we do.
Absolutely.
We wear a lot of hats.
Yeah, we do. And he has given us the tools to build ourselves back up. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to question. You don't have to, go and seek. What did he tell you to? Seek the kingdom, seek his right. And the one thing that you brought up in reference to, for real, our disobedience. And I'm included in the whole sit down. I'm learning right now. Like right now, I'm having a little pain in my back and I'm going to go sit down. It ain't going to be I'll be doing the most. And so, and I've just got on a new schedule following our anniversary to sit down somewhere. And that's another thing too, that you mentioned about like, oh, I got the bills, I got this. But again, he gave me formula. He said, if you seek my kingdom and you seek my right, I'm going to add. So he sustains. And this is why I need to sit down, because I need to be sitting down, listening to him feed himself back to me, because I should know already that I shouldn't be thinking about bills and all this other stuff when I'm under kingdom care. It ain't not one thing that I need that's not taken care of or gonna meet me when I get there. What am I tripping on? What am I thinking? What am I doing? So there's no point of being disobedient. Again, stay with that formula. Seek that kingdom. Seek his right. He will add to. Allow him to be, like you said, for me to be the woman I'm supposed to be, I was created to be, I need him to be him through me. And so I just love that, because that's a moment that all of us that are out here working, mompreneurs, doing, what it is God has us to do. However, we fail in loving ourselves and treating ourselves properly. And the way we think, God, ain't no rush. I'm here to tell the world, let me tell you, everything expedient is not profitable. There is no rush. Everything is timely. Don't let people make you meet these deadlines and all. Hey, it's timely. It's supposed to happen when it happened, like it happened. And when you're trying to manipulate and control time, one, you're gonna hurt yourself because you can't do it. Two, you're gonna find yourself a part of the joke, not only a part of it, but laughing with God, because he gonna laugh at them plans. He cracked me up. Let's crack me up. You know what I'm saying? Crack me up, Bill, in the kingdom. You got a plan? Crack up. You might as well. But I'm just saying, like, get under law. Put yourself back under law. And you don't have to worry about the things or the cares of this world. You can be or understand that you're sustained. Take the rest. Sit down, sis. I'm telling you, sit down. What you're doing, the world needs you. And nobody needs you not whole. You need to be whole, physically, mentally, spiritually, holistically. You need to be whole, one, complete, just like we started off talking about. And if you can't, then you're serving up, even within yourself, poison. We need you. We need you.
Mhm.
So take that seat, take that time to rest, because that time of resting is also his time of input, is data input. You sitting there
Exactly.
listening and taking in, and again, part of the journey. So it may look like this is just for, again, people who have businesses. It may look like, or you about your father's business. Let me be clear. It may look like, oh man, I'm behind. I supposed to have this by this and this. That. No, it's in his timing. When he needs you to have it, you're not behind. Rest was on the schedule. You failed to plan it. Rest was always on the schedule. You know, so it's, sis, come on, you talking truth there. And then about us being disobedient.
Crazy because in my I had 2.5 weeks off of work, and you will never believe that in these 2.5 weeks off of work, I got the whole program scheduled out.
Oh, I know. He
The
knew that
whole
too.
thing.
He knew that too.
The whole thing. I was trying to. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna piece this together when I got time. I'm trying to work still and do this and go to physical therapy and take the kids to school and help with homework. I was trying to do all of that. And as soon as he set me down, everything just came to me. Oh, this person gonna be the host, and this person gonna this what we gonna do, and this gonna be the menu, and da-da. Everything just came, and I was like, oh, maybe I just needed to sit down, and then it would all come.
Obey the doctor's orders. Obey law today, guys. I will always stress and always advocate for kingdom law. Obey, be obedient. Obey his law, experience his lifestyle. The whole time she could have been jiggy chilling, not even worrying, not in her own head. And just that time was set out for her to do. And when that time was set out for her, he provided everything. Do you see? So that's why fret not. That fret not real, yo. Fret not. Like, he got it. He got it.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Come on,
let me tell you, Doc, you
better. The tortoise wasn't tripping about, he was like, yeah, I'm gonna do my best, and he just chugging along and chugging, and then the hare, he running around and dancing all around and stopping for this and took a nap and that's what because he was doing too much moving. He thought he had more time than what he really did.
I was being the hare, and then God said, sit down somewhere.
And busy isn't always productive either. So you can be doing a whole lot of movement and getting nothing done.
Busy going nowhere, not a thing.
And that was me. I was busy going nowhere.
Who is that? Jim Rohn, he said, don't major in minor things. When you major in minor things and you spend major time on minor things, you get a lot of minor returns.
Exactly.
So you want major returns, you put the major work into major things.
Exactly. And that's what I was doing. I was too busy trying to do too much, and I had started falling behind. And then my sister said, so at what point are you going to finish what you said you wanted to do this event? You got to do it. Do it. And once I sat down, that very first day that I came home from work, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to take my leave of absence for a little while, and I'm going to go back when my body tells me to go back, or when I feel like I need to go back. And in that time, I got everything done. Done, and it was just like, oh, okay, maybe I need to rest a little bit more often.
A lot more often, guys. Get your rest for real.
I'm gonna cue y'all into a little secret, not Go so ahead, secret. All the big business, the Fortune 500, the big CEOs and stuff, all of them get 8 hours of sleep at night. Now you can imagine that they manage thousands and thousands of people, thousands and thousands of interactions between those people. They make decisions that affect a whole bunch of people. And they still get 8 hours of sleep. You can't tell me that there is so much going on in your life that's affecting so many people that you can't disappear from anything that's going on for 8 hours out of the day.
Come on.
Tell that lie to someone else. You want to feel tired so you can feel like you busy enough and feel tired enough to have the excuse to not do the major things you're supposed to be doing.
Because you're majoring in minors. Come on, sis. Get in that doc.
They be trying to pop up with all these excuses.
Excuses.
Baby.
Out of here.
Get
them
your
up
8
here.
hours and stop playing with
Hello?
yourself.
And schedule
Exactly.
it. Like, I'm serious. Schedule that in. Like,
Seriously.
you got to protect your peace. And we were
Yeah.
talking
You do.
about kingdom boundaries.
Yep.
You got to protect your peace. You got to protect yourself. Everybody ain't worthy of your space, place, time. It has to be proper, and they should respect it too.
Yeah.
Before, I'm with you since I was overextending myself. I would make myself available when I knew I wasn't available.
Mhm.
You know, and
Exactly.
I'm not effective or infective. And so that's why even when like we do shows and stuff like that, like when anybody's not available, including myself, I'm not showing up. I'm not going to show up half. You know, Doc, you already know. I'm on Rock Truth and I won't show up for Rock Truth. If I'm half-hearted, we're not doing this. There's no point in me doing it because I'm going to show up
Exactly.
and I got an attitude. So it ain't no good.
Yep.
It does nobody no good for me to show up halfway. I gotta come whole, and that's why throughout the week I've had to schedule my peace. I've had to schedule my time. I don't do anything unless my body says it. My mind is all in agreement that we want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's different. You know, artists are just weird people anyway. But until I'm ready, is when I'm ready. And there's no pushing. There's no pulling.
Mhm.
This is how we should be rearing our children. This is how God desired for us to grow up the same way.
A little crazy girl trying to do nothing.
I love your daughter.
If you came and you saw her, you like she poke her little belly out and be walking with her little baby.
She's still
doing whatever. I'm like,
whatever she want to do when she want it. While shows is in the background, she got her gamma juice over here. She knows she protected because her mama over there. All she got to do. That's how we supposed to do is be. And we're supposed the environment was created for us to just be. And our children,
I definitely be trying to learn. I'll be so taking notes. I'm like, so that's what contentment looks
that's
like.
What contentment looks like. Look, that's what man your business look like. Because she showed up in the corner,
beanbag chair,
doing all types
with the
of stuff
robe in the okay, and
right. That's how that goes.
Yeah. That's what comes to me as a child looks like. You know.
Yeah.
So that's what God asks us to do. We got to come to him as children, you know, and that's what that looks like. And we have to depend on him as children. That's what that looks like. She ain't worried. Foot ain't worried about nothing. She knows it's taken care of, and that's how we should live our lives, you know. So we learn a lot from our children, and we learn a lot from, you know, the models that are before us, and it doesn't necessarily have to be an adult.
Exactly.
You know, why is they age?
Exactly.
Yes. All right, guys. So we're gonna get ready to get on out of here. I'll still, you know, I'll let everybody kind of, you know, go. More than likely, Miss Ira, I'm gonna play your clip on my show tomorrow. Hopefully, we can get the sound going because that was an amazing clip. And that particular clip, guys,
even without available.
Sound. Yeah,
because I even picked up on that.
It was available
in
on
her
YouTube.
Head. See, I was watching.
Yes, and I understand. Like, I really want you guys to see it. I'm gonna go ahead and repost it on my page. It's called "Don't Look Back." I want you guys to be able to see this because this is exactly what happens in our own heads. We psych each other out. We psych ourselves out. I'm sorry. And the biggest, the greatest temptation ever, still to today, is self-doubt. It is the enemy trying to get you to doubt who you already are. It is you telling you that you're not the queen or the king that you are. You're self-doubting. And if he can get you to self-doubt you, it's a wrap. That's the game. That's game, set, match. You have self-doubted. So so I'll play this clip tomorrow. Don't worry about it, Miss Ira. Thank you for everybody in the comments. Thank you, Miss Wesson, for everything that you've done for our community, sis. For our community, for children like myself that you had to make your own. You've had to, you know, encourage us. Listen, that's my sister.
You know how many sisters
I love
brothers
her.
I got?
Listen, I love her.
Well, y'all got a big and strong legacy then. Go ahead.
I didn't know it was later. I did not know this was your mom. And I'm like, oh my God, shut up. Yes, I love her. I love her. The model that you stand for, sis, in our community as a Black woman, as a queen, as a mother, I thank you because I look to my models for people to pull from to be. And so thank you for being that light for me as a child. as a child, we needed you there. And on so many other, like if you're a teacher or you're a counselor or you're just a neighbor, and that's who we seek out with Rock Truth. If you're this person, you understand how important and vital your relationship with people, with children are. Sometimes they're not getting everything they need at home. And so it's you that make the difference in their lives. So I thank you so much, Miss Wesson, for being the difference in my life. We thank you, Miss Sheena's out there. I believe Samira J. Go ahead, girl. Thank you so much for tuning in. My sister Shantae was out there. Thank you so much, Shantae, for tuning in. Miss Ira, I said that. I believe that's everybody. Thank you, Doc, for tuning in. Do you have any final words, Doc?
Just one quick practical step to start getting control back over your life, especially if you are in a domestic violence relationship or you have just left one. A great way to start either structuring a way to get out of it or to regroup after it is to start scheduling your day. Even if you don't have nothing in your day, trust me, if you write a schedule, you're going to find something to put in your day. And then when you start seeing where your time is going, how it's being spent, and you start correlating how you're feeling with those actions that you're taking throughout the day, you'll start being more mindful of the major time that you're spending on minor things. And then you can start reallocating that to major things and get major power over your boundaries. Because when you set that schedule, like, nope, from this time to this time, I'm doing this, and you're interrupting. And so when you ignore people or when you tell people, no, I am not available, you don't have to tell them why. No, you know why. The schedule is for you to know why you're not available at that time. And then you can also see when you will be available again. I can't talk right now, but I'll be available at 6 if you're free. And that's all you gotta say.
It helps. It helps with your anxieties. It helps with all of that, because all of that goes away. And it's like, I'm not feeling pressured to do anything. That's how life should be. All these pressures is what we're adding to ourselves. Gain control over that. Gain control over that. And like you said, do something. Let me tell you one thing you can do. Clean up. You can clean up. I wasn't just talking about your house. I'm talking about compartmentalizing your house, fam. Clean this place up while you clean up.
And that should be a part of either your morning or your nighttime ritual.
Come on,
when you first get up, you should be assessing how do you feel? What do you feel? What do you want to feel for your day? How do you want to feel at the end of your day? That's what you should be doing. You setting yourself up energetically, mind, heart, and body for your day. And then at the end of the day, if you didn't do it in the morning, if you do it at night, take stock. Well, what did I accomplish today? I had X, Y, Z to do. Did I get those things done? Why didn't I do them if I didn't do them? Like I said, that's when you start seeing where your time is going. Like, well, if I didn't do this because did I have that scheduled?
Come on.
Did I have it prioritized so that this is something that is not to be interrupted? So you have to prioritize. Come on.
And look at where all of everything is aimed. Everything is aimed at yourself. Everything is aimed at yourself. Everything is aimed at you. You're not looking at somebody else and what time they got. You're not looking at somebody else and seeing what they got going on. You're not concerned with somebody else. This is all you, reassessing you, where your mind is, where you want to be, where you should be. All of that is a you. So you have no time for nobody else. Miss DaShae, final thoughts?
I'm with Doc. You have to make the time for you. And you was talking to me. I had to say her soon as she got started, I said, now she didn't have to talk to me like that. You did not have to. She didn't have to talk to me like that.
No, but seriously, like I started getting up at like 4:30 in the morning just because that was a time where no one else was awake.
Yeah, me too.
But you know, Foot, she on me now, so like she get up when I. I'm like, why are you awake right now?
There you go.
Why are you awake? You knew I was getting up this early, and you was like, "Wow, Mama can't get this time to herself." So,
you know, when you get moving around, oh, Mama, let me get up now. Let me get up.
I gotta try
get up and join her.
Right. Well, do you?
But I mean, if that's what it means,
I'm sorry.
If that's what it takes, like, and that's what I'm saying, that's just having a solution mindset.
Yes.
So trust me, you're not gonna set the schedule like this is gonna be it. No, it's gonna take some trial and error. You're gonna have to see what works,
It is.
what doesn't work, and you're gonna have to work through it.
Trial and error. Going through trial and error currently. Do you have any final thoughts for domestic violence? People who are survivors, but then also people who possibly could be involved in a situation currently.
Just speak up. That's all you got to do. Just speak up. Because if you're going through it, if you speak up and you tell somebody, that person is going to possibly help you get out of it. If you've been through it, speak up, because your testimony is going to help somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. And we thank you all for tuning in. I'm going to read this last comment from Miss Wesson because, of course, got to get them flowers while she's here. She says, "You're welcome, sweetie. Thank you. It has been my pleasure. May God bless both of you abundantly for your message being shared." Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much for Philippians 4:19. She's asking us to reference to that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going.
Yes, I feel like I know this one. Is this about the race? Press towards the mark. Is that pressing towards the mark? I think it just might be. I know this one. I know 4:19. That is very familiar. But we thank you so much again for everybody. We thank you again, Mr. DaShae, for coming on, blessing us with the gift that is you, sharing your story. If you could please, if you have any flyers or anything, drop that in our group so that we can share along with you and support your efforts, your many efforts for just kingdom sanity.
Yes, ma'am.
For kingdom sanity. I love it.
I got
and
you.
then and then you are doing a thing with domestic violence. I'm actually partnering with 1, 2, 3. We're at four different people who have organizations regarding domestic violence that we're going to partner with to do a open mic poetry open mic session, and I would love for you to join us in that effort. I believe it's Hush No More. We have Black Butterfly Queens, Rock True, and then I'm going to speak with Ambition, a poet who is also a foster child going through different forms of abuse. So we'll get together, and I'll reach out to you, sis, and we'll get together. We're looking for an event in July.
I can't wait.
Yes. I think this would be super dope.
Wait.
Yes. So thank you again. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you for having me.
Here next week. You're welcome, sis. No problem. We will be back here next week. Don't forget, if you haven't already, go to www.justinapeterson.com and get your book, Not in My Own Strength. Join us as we're reading. Read along with us. Like, this is very insightful. And one thing it is helping us all do is take ownership and accountability, in the roles that we play in life. So we thank you guys again. Rock Truth. Absolutely nothing at all.